Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to Ramadan Reflections. Today being the second day of the blessed month of Ramadan. Today we continue our foundational discussion on better understanding Allah and emotions. As we had previously noted in our discussion yesterday, the abstraction of the attributes of Allah are abstracted from the relationship of Allah to His actions, and as such, Allah's actions are Allah's creations. Therefore, regardless of the existence of the creatures, neither satisfaction nor wrath has any meaning when they are used in regards to Allah. In other words, Allah's pleasure and His wrath are in fact an objective realization of the creation, and in our case, the human being itself. But because this creation has a relationship with Allah, we abstract from that creature the trait for Allah. Now, as we know, Allah is all-wise, and the work of one who is wise is purposeful and final. So every being in the universe has a definite purpose, and the purpose of the existence of humankind is no exception. However, there is a major difference between the human being and all other creations which exist. All other creations are naturally and instinctively moving towards their goal. But the human being's journey to their desired goal is a voluntary movement. And so each individual person must want to move oneself towards that specific purpose that Allah created the humankind for. And ultimately that goal is to reach spiritual proximity to Allah. And if a person does not want to do so, then one will not spiritually arrive to Allah, nor will they have attained the true purpose of creation. Therefore, because of the special ability to choose one's own personal goal, the human being has two paths in front of them. One is towards Allah, which is pure perfection, and the other is in the opposite direction towards the existential defect. Now, all human beings start at one point, and from there they begin to move. But as a result of their own voluntary evolutions, they become one of two categories, either gravitating towards the divine or inclining towards the non-divine. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Insan, chapter number 76, Allah speaks about this phenomenon and He says, "Inna hadaynahu sabil imma shakiran wa imma kafuran." Indeed, we have guided him, the human being, to the way, be he grateful or ungrateful. Now, when we reflect on these two groups of people and their connection to Allah, we see that one group are those individuals who have earned the pleasure of Allah, while the other group has earned the wrath of Allah. And from this, we can conclude that the people on the path, that path that is gravitating towards the divine, they have attained the purpose of their creation, which is Allah, and thus they have earned the pleasure of Allah. Whereas those who have inclined towards the non-divine, they are people who have not attained or reached to the purpose of their creation, and thus they have actually ended up attracting the wrath of Allah. Therefore, Allah's pleasure, which we had spoken about in our last discussion, and we continue today, it means turning towards Allah and enjoying the divine light, while Allah's wrath means turning away from Allah and being deprived of the divine light. We will continue part 3 to conclude this discussion on understanding the emotions of God in our discussion tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.